story mode of Mortal Kombat 1 has 15 chapters divided into 4 separate acts. The first chapter is called It Takes a Village. A cutscene starts playing and you will see an elderly man at a stall in the village. He is selling what appears to be fake elixirs and potions to an interested crowd.
It has Patreon flowers, Margovian nectar, powdered teeth of an Arctican dragon. All this and more, infused with powerful Lycorian magic. There is a village in the next canton over, where everyone has purchased this miracle cure. Overnight, all diseases, even Tarkot, have disappeared. Now, magic this potent is expensive. And I am sure you're asking yourselves, can I afford it? But the true question you must ask is, can I afford
The old man is introduced as being Shang Tsung, and an angry customer from the crowd accuses him of being a fake.
I'm sorry, you are?
According to the angry customer, Shang Tsung sold him an elixir in the past, promising it would cure his dying daughter.
I gave you all I had, but only days later, she was dead.
That is impossible. My magic could not have failed her.
There was no magic! I took your elixir to an Imperial mage, and you know what she said? It's nothing! Just bourgeois tea!
It did not, and cost the man everything. The crowd quickly turns into a mob and descends on Shang Tsung.
Is guaranteed.
We then cut to later in the day, where Shang Tsung is recovering in the middle of a forest. He opens up a box and looks at himself in a mirror inside. Then he takes off his disguise to reveal he is not an old man. A mysterious hooded figure speaks to him, acknowledging that it is wise for Shang Tsung to pretend to be elderly to fool the villages he travels to. The figure does not introduce herself, but promises Shang Tsung that she can help him become the great sorcerer he wishes to be.
If it's restitution, there's nothing left.
What I want, Shang Tsung, elevate you.
She claims that he is meant to live alongside kings, not peasants, and that he can be much greater than he is.
Why me?
You are uniquely resilient. Who else could eke out a living traveling Outworld's hinterlands, selling quack cures and fake magic?
A living. It is barely survival.
And you were meant for more. To live among kings, not peasants. But since before you were born, you have been conspired against by those who fear how formidable you could become.
How do you know this? Who are you?
I am your deliverer, Shang Tsung. Join me, and I will put the realms at your feet.
Shang Tsung gets an evil grin just thinking about how evil he will be. And then we cut to a beautiful farm with people harvesting crops, and 2 key characters are introduced. Kung Lao and Raiden, Kung Lao being the focus for the chapter.
This is a good harvest, Kung Lao.
Yes.
Kung Lao and Raiden are childhood friends who compete with each other over everything. They talk for a while about their plans for the future, and then they make a bet for the first one to fill up a cart filled with produce wins, and the loser has to pay for dinner for the village.
As long as I've known you, you've dreamed of leaving Fengjian. Why can't you be happy here?
Our ancestors fought in great wars. They died with honor and glory. Stories of our great adventures will be passed down for generations.
It may not be glorious, but what we do helps the village thrive.
I know. But is it so wrong to want some excitement?
If that's what you want, may I suggest a bet? Dinner at Madame Beau's tonight. Last to fill their cart pays.
You work faster than me? Ha! Since when? You're on, Raiden.
The race begins, and Kung Lao and Raiden end up at a restaurant owned by the kindly but stern lady called Madame Beau. Madame Beau has been teaching Kung Lao and Raiden martial arts, and before the men even get to ordering their food, they decide to have a fight to decide who won the bets.
I wonder what Madame Beau is making tonight.
For you two, whatever you want.
Thank you, Madame Beau. You spoil us.
Like the sons I never had. Have you two been practicing my lessons?
As we can. The harvest leaves us little time for martial arts.
Since your first words, Kung Lao, you've mouthed nothing but excuses. If you fail to prepare...
Your preparations will fail you.
Good. You haven't forgotten. But we'll see if I make you anything special tonight.
I'm glad you're paying. Madame Beau might just pad the bill with her anger.
I am paying? You finished work last.
But I delivered my cart first.
Delivered? Huh. The bet was filled.
That's not what I remember.
So that's how it is, eh? What do you say we settle this man to man? Hmm?
Wait, you mean fight?
Yes. Right here, right now. Madame Beau can watch, critique our form.
As Kung Lao and Raiden get up, a hooded figure with glowing eyes is watching intently at a nearby table.
We must be careful.
This is where you'll get to take part in your first fight. You'll be playing as
This
Kung
won't last long
Lao.
enough for that to happen. You will be
This fight isn't too difficult if you watch Raiden's attack patterns. He has quite an aggressive attack pattern, but Kung Lao is very quick. If you time your blocks and counters well, you can interrupt his combos with ease.
Must we go another round?
We both know how this ends.
After you win the fight, Kung Lao will help Raiden up. Then, there'll be a cutscene showing them paying for their meal.
Keep telling yourself that.
As soon as Kung Lao and Raiden start to leave, a shady-looking group of characters enter the restaurant. They will soon be identified as Lin Kuei. Each chapter in Mortal Kombat 1 is divided into sections. This section is called When There's Smoke. The leader of the group, whose name is Smoke, will speak to Madame Bo and ask if she's made her decision. She can either pay for the group's protection or suffer the consequences.
What do we do?
Stay ready.
Madam Bo, it is a simple choice. Pay for our protection, or risk harm to this fine establishment.
You'll get nothing.
Madame Bo refuses, and the Lin Kuei immediately start to tear the restaurant apart. Some other customers start to try and defend it, while others run away in fear. Then, Madame Bo begins to fight Smoke. This is where Kung Lao and Raiden get involved, and this is where the second combat encounter of the game starts as well. It's a little trickier than the fight with Raiden, as Smoke hits a lot harder and he's a lot quicker.
You two are brave, but against us, you are...
In this encounter, blocks are essential, and you'll need to try to predict Smoke's combo attempts where possible. When he gets you in a combo chain, it's quite hard to break out of it, so make sure you're using your blocks and dashes where needed. One of the advantages you have in this fight is that you have Raiden on your side as a cameo. When you're the right distance away from Smoke, summon Raiden to briefly help you take him down. And always keep in mind, every fight unless specified otherwise is best of 3. If you take Smoke down in the first round, don't lose focus and let him win the second round.
You picked the wrong person to extort, ruffian. Now who's in over his head?
Now that Smoke is defeated, Kung Lao and Raiden head to help Madame Bo, who's thrown over the edge of a nearby balcony onto a table.
I'm surprised too.
Come on, let's help Madame Bo.
This starts the next section. This section is called All Fired Up. Before Kung Lao and Raiden can reach Madame Bo, they're interrupted by a new threat. Sub-Zero appears on a roof and throws an ice bowl at them, warning them to stay out of Lin Kuei business. Kung Lao and Raiden refuse, continuing over to help Madame Bo. Sub-Zero launches himself off the roof and tackles Raiden down the nearby stairs. That's when Scorpion enters the fray, which initiates the next Chapter 1 battle.
Want more? I have plenty.
You should have fled when you could. Prepare to regret ever crossing the Lin Kuei. Fight!
Scorpion is an aggressive opponent with his special abilities that can close distance very easily. Make sure you've mastered your juggle attacks. You can use them quite effectively in this battle. Scorpion goes for aerial moves quite often. Scorpion has Sub-Zero as his cameo, but the cameo moves are quite easy to spot due to drastic color difference with light blue ice version and warm tone background, so make sure just to dash backwards when you see them coming. Once you defeat Scorpion, the next section will start. This section is called Snowed In. Kung Lao will immediately run to help Raiden, who is losing against Sub-Zero on a lower level of a restaurant. Raiden attempts to flee, but Sub-Zero follows, promptly freezing his hand to the bar. A nearby drunk patron uses a chunk of ice to put it in his drink. Kung Lao throws his hat to distract Sub-Zero, which is nothing but irritate him, then throws a nearby blade, nicking Sub-Zero in the arm. This initiates the next battle, where Sub-Zero reveals he's the Grand Master of the Lin Kuei.
Before I put you down like the rest of your Lin Kuei.
You haven't a prayer against the Lin Kuei's Grand Master. Fight.
In this battle, Sub-Zero uses his ice attacks often and has Scorpion as his cameo, meaning that timing is everything with this particular battle. If you don't jump out of the way when Scorpion is tagged in, you can get stuck in quite a lethal combo chain and end up wiping out. If you've got the hang of your jump attacks, you can use these quite effectively to surprise Sub-Zero and avoid getting caught in combos.
Sorry, but I have to ask. Can any of you...
Once you finish the fight, Kung Lao will pick up his hat and briefly consider how effective the blade he used earlier was, foreshadowing his future weapon of choice. Then, both Kung Lao and Raiden will run over to Madame Bo, who appears to be unconscious on the floor. Thankfully, she's just pretending.
Madame Bo. She's out cold. Oh no, is she...
Dead? Not yet.
She stands up and congratulates Kung Lao and Raiden for their efforts. The hooded figure with the glowing eyes walks down the stairs and asks Madame Bo if the guys are ready. She confirms that they are.
So, Madame Bo,
The hooded figure reveals himself to be Lord Liu Kang, god of fire and protector of Earthrealm.
I am Lord Liu Kang, God of Fire.
It turns out that the Lin Kuei are an ancient clan of Earthrealm's protectors, and Madame Bo has been training Raiden and Kung Lao to join Lord Liu Kang's tournament of champions since birth.
Worthy of joining my champions.
This fight was... a test.
Of your ability and character.
Yes.
The enemies that Kung Lao and Raiden defeated immediately get up and join Lord Liu Kang. Both Kung Lao and Raiden are astonished, but are informed that Sub-Zero, Smoke, and Scorpion were pulling their punches to ensure that they weren't killed.
So these two aren't thugs?
The Lin Kuei is a centuries-old clan dedicated to Earthrealm's defense.
You keep saying Earthrealm. Don't you mean Earth?
You boys have so much to learn.
Earth is only a part of Earthrealm. Earthrealm itself is one of many realms. Together, they comprise the whole of the universe.
The realms can be fierce, bitter rivals. That's why we need champions to defend ours.
The time draws near for the grand martial arts tournament between Earthrealm and the realm of Outworld. Held once each century, it allows each realm to demonstrate its strength. While our realms are at peace, there are Outworlders who would prefer us to be at war. Our victory in the tournament will temper their zeal.
I've taught you everything I can. You must finish your training with Lord Liu Kang.
More training? These two couldn't defeat us.
Kung Lao and Raiden are asked to join the tournament as champions in order to defend Earthrealm from its enemies, and informed that they must train at the Wu Shi Academy. Kung Lao agrees without hesitation, but Raiden isn't keen as he wants to support the village and continue his farm work. Madame Bo assures him that being the champion of the village and saving Earthrealm will help more than anything. With that, Lord Liu Kang promises to see them both soon and leaves to gather more champions. This brings chapter 1 to a close.
Fight!